Hello, this is Jessie. This is an assignment for Quest 1, Option 3. Um, I chose the Sustainable Development Goals part, and the specific part that I chose was Goal 4, Quality Education, and Goal 5, Gender Equality. I picked these two because I believe that education is not truly quality unless it's equal, especially for girls and marginalized groups. Um, when I explored the UN teaching resources, I noticed that many lessons about gender and education relying on reading, discussions, or data analysis. Those are important, but I wanted to imagine something more embodied, like how the way students physically learn instead of just watching the videos or looking through the lectures, like a way for students to feel inequality and cooperation physically, not just talk about it. Uh, and how am I supposed to teach them? Like, how do I want to teach them? The idea that I thought of was to design an interactive classroom simulation called the Race for Education. And initially, I divide the students into like small groups, and some groups are assigned with fewer materials, uh, which is a different set of starting conditions. For example, some groups might have like limited resources, like fewer pencils, less time, or even certain rules that restrict when they speak or move. And others might have an access to basically everything. And then all the groups would be asked to complete the simple learning task like building a paper bridge, solving a puzzle, or even writing down like a group poem. Uh, but as they work, they will slowly realize how unfair the setup is, and the students with more restrictions, will probably feel frustrated, left behind, or unheard, and they might be missing out from the class. And after the activity, the whole class will briefly talk about like how did it felt to be limited or privileged. How does this reflect access to education around the world? What gender equality in education really look like? And through this activity, students wouldn't just learn about inequality, they would actually experience it emotionally and socially. This kind of embodied learning can lead to a deeper empathy and reflection, especially among younger learners. I think students might first react with a surprise or even discomfort, but that's the productive kind of the whole tension. By processing that discomfort together, they can understand how global system of inequality works and even how small privileges affect learning and education. Ultimately, I hope this lesson helps students realize that education itself can be a tool for liberation, but only when everybody gets to stand at the same starting line. Thank you.